Look at all these chairs. All of these graduates. And we owe that to the people sitting in the audience. The people that are supporting our kids, making this happen. We owe it to you. So when you're congratulating them, make sure you congratulate yourselves. We appreciate it. It's not what we do in the classroom, it's what you guys are doing. So thank you very, very much. You'll need a mic, right, Tom?
I don't need a mic.
You guys need a mic. First of all, I'd like our graduates, you don't have to sit in any order, just don't fight over the chairs, but all of our graduates, please come up and sit down.
Well, I adopted the horse too. And Hickory is doing real well. At our summer camp, look it up, it's Lakota Youth Development. When you go there, when you send your children there, go online, LakotaYouthDevelopment.org, there's an application process there. When your children come, they have a chaperone. We teach them how to put up their own TV. We have canoes, we have Joseph Marshall III, if you know him. He's our bow and arrow expert, and they make their own bows and arrows and take them home. And so we do a lot for our children. We have an amphitheater to teach them about plays. We have a sweat lodge for those who want to go with permission of their parents, of course. And of course we have the horses. We have a 1 mile nature walk of the different plants and medicines that grow on the prairies. We have a camp for harvesting sweetgrass, bitterroot, also the tingsila, wild turnips, and July choke cherries, of course, black choke cherries month. And so we do just about everything we can for healthy lifestyles and independent living. They do all the circuit of things necessary for a family to live. They harvest, they clean the products, and then they braid the tingsila, dehusking them first, drying them then in the sun, cooking some of them, and we eat with them. And they serve us, gives us the whole circuit of life, teach them how to have an independent, healthy lifestyle. That's what we're about. We've got them honeybees, so we have 50 hives. It's theirs. A person donated a huge bus, 18-passenger bus, so they could go to the powwows, Gathering of the Nations, March powwow in Denver, powwow in North Dakota, at Bismarck. It's a huge one. So they get to go every place with funds from the honeybees. And so they could travel. And right now, they're at a honey bee festival to meet other people who raise bees for organizations. So right now, they're in Oregon. And I didn't get a text yet, but I know they're probably really doing well. Having a good time. Teaching them about living all over this land. Don't confine yourself to little reservations or enclaves. The whole world is yours. When you graduate, the whole world is yours. With your education, you can do a lot of things. I did. Came off the reservation. I didn't even know how to speak English well when I first started college. And I didn't graduate with everybody else because I had too many credits. And so we got, me and Ben were here, and Elgin Badwood, they graduated us in December. And so we didn't get to learn, or I didn't get to learn about going to college. And so when I first started back to school at the age of 42 years old at the University of South Dakota, fresh off the res, and the little receptionist says, "Are you traditional or non-traditional?" So I said, "Traditional, because I'm from the reservation, I'm Lakota." And the little blue-eyed blonde girl says, "No, you're non-traditional." So I said, "I'm traditional." She said, "Non-traditional." She said, "How old are you?" I said, 42. "That makes you non-traditional." And I said, "That makes me more traditional." I'm fortunate that I have a wife whose first language is English, Nancy. My wife is white. So I call her Mrs. I said, "Mrs., they told me I was non-traditional." She says, "When you graduate from high school and go straight into college, that's traditional." So I remembered a little name tag. I called the registrar and I said, "I would like to speak with Cindy." So they put her up. I said, "I'm sorry what I said about being traditional today." And she said, "You did?" "Yes." "I don't remember that." Well, at least I apologized, although she didn't have a clue what I was apologizing for. But when you make a mistake like that, apologize right away, flush it, clean it out right away. That's what I did. It makes you feel better. I clean me up, although nobody else really cares. But if one cleans themselves in the evening especially, apologize to those whose feet you might have stepped on. Make yourself a cleaning machine. It's easier to get along in this world that way. I did. And I could tell stories. I have a wide comfort zone. I try to be politically correct. And all the other correctnesses. You know what they are, right? But I tell my students, don't worry, I'll sneak something in. But we'll approach it as studying a language. Because American English, sometimes we don't know what we're saying. Sometimes we make mistakes and say, "Oh, I didn't know it meant that." So you have to be a good spin doctor. You turn around and look at what you said during the day. I have to because I'm a public speaker. And all the time I try to do things the right way. I want to congratulate Trey Antlo, Kristen Bonos, Elisa Christensen, Santana Gonzalez, Brianni Hope, Kim Marie Johnson, Andrew Meliter, Bianca Naranjo, Martha Nagat, Antonio Royer, Dre Sheila Severson, Montgomery Shields, Stefan Sekir. That was Lincoln High. New Tech, Carlisle Catches, Shailita Goodberg, Jordan Arntz, and I'm on Roosevelt. Cheyenne Grave, Troy Stadium, Tyson Digio, Ion Brandis, Jaden Emily, Brianna Lang, James Nolan, Madison Sandow, Kate Johnson, Washington, Tiffany Android, Tatiana Burrell, Lorenzo Houserup, Malia McAnish, Ezra Ritter, Jovan Running Enemy, Destin Yellowwood, Marco Zuniga. Some are not here, but we'll acknowledge them anyway, because they need to know that they had gone through this year and had completed a time. Going to go on. Gradient is a word for upward. Gradually, you're going still upward. If you know the root words of G-R-A-D. Unfortunately, I've taken Latin. Contract with, comes with. The graduating students here. Congratulations again. After I have named all of these students, I'd like to have a prayer said for them and for all of us also. I give tobacco to my Kahashi here, Dr. George Eagleman, and he'll do our invocation for this wonderful day. Organize. Gotta wait till everybody's saying
Call me Doctor. I just want to say what the words before I started this. I came to Sioux Falls back in 1990. They didn't have a sweat lodge in Sioux Falls, so I went down to the unit, sweated down there. That's where I met Rome here. We had a real strong Native American community down here. I joined them and learned a lot from them. So I still practice what I was taught from them. Rome become a good friend of mine and do a lot of things together. We barter together. We barter in, barter in. We become good friends. When I asked to pray, like myself, I speak my language very well, but I also teach things. Prayers are very important in our lives. It's something that we need to really utilize and connect with in our lives. Because it does put faith into it, becomes a reality. That's considered to be that. And I practice that in our culture very much. That's very large, another way to support the building it again, and hopefully resonating with what I was speaking. With that being said, I'm going to thank Jerome and Bobby and all of that organization for honoring ceremony for the graduates. Asking to pray for them before hours. If you don't understand that I put the language, I ask you to listen from the heart. You'll feel what I'm praying about. But for gosh, I welcome. Pero matata ka hindi mo pagkas. Pero kaya pinigyan mo dulu ka pagkas. Bago sa dulu ka pagkas niya habis. Nawala naya. Ay na pagkas. Then kaya yang kaya pinigyan sa pagkas. Omi santina. All good side was a
time, invite Principal Robert Grimm. Say welcome. All right. Fine timing to come today.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rob Grimm, and I'm the proud principal of Lincoln High School. Thank you for being here tonight. Lincoln High School welcomes Washington High School and Roosevelt High School students. Well, I'm grateful you're here. You're going to speak to the students. As the principal of the high school, we have one goal for each and every student that we serve, and that's to see you walk across the stage. And I tell the students at Lincoln High School, whether you walk, crawl, or I drag you, I don't care. One way or the other, you got to get across that stage. Life's too challenging to not have a high school diploma. I applaud you for your effort. I applaud you for what you've accomplished, because it's easy to give up. That's the easy way in life, is to give up when things get hard. You didn't do that. You continue to fight through, you continue to get to the end. And some of you, this may be the end of your educational career. Some of you, it's just the beginning. You're going to go on, you're going to go to a college or a university, a trade school. You're going to become doctors, lawyers, whatever it is you choose to do. But I will applaud you for what you've accomplished so far. Life's far from over. You've got a long, long road, but remember, don't give up. Because if you give up, there's only one other option, and that's quitting. And life doesn't deal well with quitters. Fight through it. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing your students, or supporting your students along the way. Kids don't make it on their own. They don't make it because the school does everything right. If it weren't for you, if it weren't for the effort that you put in each and every day, making sure that your children have the clothes to come to school, making sure that they have the materials to be successful, our kids wouldn't make it. So thank you for what you do, and again, thank you for being at the high school tonight.
At this time, I'd like to have the students file down, go down, and line up in the front right here on the floor level. Line up straight, right front, right here. Now, those of you who have come here to put star quilts on some of the students, please bring them now. Cover them over their shoulders. And I'd like to invite Mr. Tim Easter to give us an address at this time while they're at their star quilts over their shoulders. Tim has been working for the school system for many, many years.
Getting there, yes. All right, well, how we talk about the Tante Washington Affection Couple Easter Machiaplo, Yushkian Wachianka. So good to meet everyone. And I have to say, I kind of get lost for words because I am truly honored to be able to address. I'm also humbled. And what is really neat about seeing all of these students is that I had the privilege to see some of them since they were 6th graders. And so it is, like I said, I'm beyond words as far as what it is to see these students, walking across that aisle, getting their diploma. And as Mrs. Martin and Mr. Grimm mentioned before, it takes everyone, and it takes the support from family, from friends, and I think there's any number of teachers and coaches, elders, relatives. There's so many people that play a huge influence, and so So just a thank you to everyone, and so make sure that we're given. As this time, I tell you what, if we can, let's give everyone a round of applause. And I'm always wondering for some of the students that are up here right now, and this is probably a time where we are probably not too sure of what is going on. We're probably not too sure of what is happening. And I know that in years past when I've talked with students, they ask about this particular event. And to me, and I think that is important to realize as well, because there are plenty of times in life in which we're not too sure what's going to go on, what is going to happen. And so really quick, and I know that we've been kind of sitting for a little bit, so I suppose it's sort of the teacher side of me. I wanted to, you guys could still sit down, maybe not for them because they've got the blankets, but for those in the audience, and if you have the opportunity, I want us to try to do this, and something really simple, just a quick game. And what we do is we take our right pointer finger, and I want you just to take your right pointer finger, and we're just going to do it like this. And then we're going to take our left thumb, and we're going to hold it straight up. And then as fast as you can, I want you to switch. And I want you to do it one more time. And I want you, so in other words, as we continue to do this, and for the first time that we do this, it is uncomfortable. But what's really important, and I think about for any time that we learn something, whether it's a sport, whether it's a band instrument, whatever it might be, we know that there is discomfort. But what's really great about discomfort is that's the time that we learn. And so sometimes we think of hardship, we think of hard times, we think of times that we are uncomfortable as a place that we don't want to be at. The truth is, and as I've learned this too in my number of years, I won't care to say exactly, but one of the things that I have learned is that we never stop learning. And there's always a time that we are uncomfortable. And so for myself, I have to admit, just a kind of a backstory. My mom, left from Alan and Mark, and she left back in the early 70s. And she tells me about all the times that she ventured out on her own. And so she did Job Corps. They placed her out in Los Angeles, Portland, Oregon, and eventually Tacoma, Washington. My dad grew up poverty outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. And he talked about, and he's always talked about that step in which he enlisted in the Air Force. Now, at the time in the early 70s, people were worried about going off to Vietnam, and his family was scared for him, but he did it anyway. And those are things that I personally, and I think everyone has a story similar, in which we have stepped out. And each of the students up here, they stepped out in some way. There's probably been a time. And so hopefully that is something that we can build upon, and that there are going to be times that things are uncomfortable. I went out to University of Nebraska, graduated from South Dakota State, was able to get my master's from USF. But one of the things that I learned is that while those are great accomplishments, it wasn't easy. And the one thing, and I know I've seen this on a t-shirt somewhere, but the best things in life aren't easy. There's something that we work towards. And so, as I said, as we go through, and life never stops, learning never stops. And so it's something that I have the privilege of doing, and even as a teacher, I'm still learning. And so one of the things that I still learn, I'm still learning about culture, still learning Lakota language. I try to speak as much as I can, but I have to admit that, I'm still learning, and I'm still humbled by some of the experiences. And so, I suppose if there is any bit of advice to give to anyone is one, uncomfortableness, discomfort, it happens. But one of the things that we want to do is we want to make sure that you are stepping out of your comfort zone, try something new. And whatever that is, from here on in, it's try something new, try something different. You'd be surprised at one, what we can accomplish, but two, what we might discover. So, so what we like, so. job. Okay, how come on y'all happy?
That would be a long time ago. That's probably 1700. When we had buffalo, when some person was honored, or some person was freed by himself, some person was given a name, we usually draped a buffalo robe over with the stars radiating out. You probably saw this. Well, there were no more buffalo. I mean, those that we can have for our robes. But the women of the Lakota, Dakota, many tribes have been tactful and tribal ingenuity. We used things that were available. The change came over the land. So they made fabric star quilts in place of the buffalo robes. We trickled into the 21st century with our own ways, adapting well to natural and unnatural change. We adapted well. So it's good to keep these going because this is our history. This is our history. And the values that we have, the colors that we love, brought us here. Brought us into the 21st century. Our love, honor, those things that are the main things that brought us here. I always tell my little kids when I teach little children, I said, put all good things in your body every day. That way there will be no room for bad things to come in. And learn to use your 7 senses. Turn all that you got back out to help you. The good things that you save, filter. Learn to filter it out for all the people. And animals, and birds, and trees, our Mother Earth especially. I can't stop talking. If my wife was here, she would go like this. But what I want to do here, thank you for inviting me, borrowing my voice. I want people from row to row to come around and shake their hands and file out there in the commons, eating area. We're going to sing an honor song for these fine, fine graduating students. And when you are out there, the students will have a class presentation. And Janet, who just talked to me just now, will be the director. And I'm done. But I'd like to call up once again our principal. He calls himself Bob. Rev, please come up for a presentation for you. We have something for you, and we want you to stand first over there. So when people are shaking your hands, you would be number 1. Okay, we're going to start the song so everybody in the audience.
Can I say something?
Yes.
Okay. I might cry, but coming up here, someday watch the music show. It is an honor for me to speak on behalf of my leg chief, who has taken in a hard responsibility
responsibility to allow us Native kids to pour our heart out to him without collapsing. And I just want to say on behalf of the Lincoln kids here too, he's a relative of ours, and by this star quote that I have given him, I hope you guys can embrace him too, because this man has stood up for us through many times to have our voice be shared throughout the education system. He paid out of his own pocket for us kids to write newsletters about our sacred ancestors who have left us. And this man has taken me in as his own relative too when, you know, assimilation has taken over our people and they no longer recognize family kinship terms in the school system. And when you have that connection in the school system, that's when things are strong and, you know, warriors graduate and stuff. So I just want to say I'm proud of each and every single one of you. And you guys did it, you know. You guys are role models to me, to my siblings, and to all the other kids in here. And this is at the end. So thank you guys.
I'd like to also acknowledge Robert Johnson, who's got Ann Robertson, here, and also someone who I worked with throughout the years, and that's Heather. Heather Ferguson, are you still here? Are you here?
Yeah.
Where?
Way over here.
Oh, wait, down that back there. And Bruce, of course. I think that's all I can remember. I'm at that age now where I can't remember names, but I can remember faces. I scan, and I can remember all of them. Okay, let's shake their hands. Iron Wing singer, Wagner.